Welcome to the May edition of Chapter Video Magazine. I'm Charlie Becker, Director of Chapters and Communities here at EAA. I want to take a second and talk about our webinar program. You know, we do webinars every week, usually Wednesday night. We'll do sometimes more than one a week. We started this, believe it or not, back in March of 2010. So it's 15 years of webinars that we've been doing. Our first one was on the B-17, and I remember it was Sean Elliott, and I was the host. And the first webinar I had ever attended, I thought, wow, this is basically an AirVenture forum, but you can do it any time of the year, and you don't need to be physically present at AirVenture. So I just immediately thought of the possibilities of taking those great presenters that we have at AirVenture and giving them an opportunity to present to everybody in the EA audience, regardless of whether they could make it to AirVenture. So that was our first one back in March of 2010, and we've been going strong ever since. In fact, this year we had a record number, if you set aside the 2 years of kind of the pandemic where it went through the roof. But it was another record year this year of 35,000 people attending and watching, and that doesn't include our special events. Like this month we have coming up in May 13th to 15th, our Learn to Fly Week webinars. So if you're interested in learning to fly, check those out. But we also do other special events like Home Builders Week and Ultralight Days that aren't included in those numbers. We've had 1,200 webinars, 500,000 attendees. All the recordings are still available for those 1,200 as long as you're a member. So big shout out to Tim Bogenhagen on our staff who does all the planning and organizing and hosting of a lot of them. He really makes it happen. So thanks to Tim. It's been very successful over the years. In fact, this month in May, I'll just point out we got a great one coming up. If you've never watched any of these, on stall spin avoidance with Gordon Penner. He's a master CFI. So our presenters are absolutely top notch, and they all do this as volunteers. So it's a pretty amazing opportunity to learn in the comfort of your home, and if you miss it, you can always watch the recording. So if you haven't checked them out, I'd encourage you to check out our webinar program. Now, looking ahead to AirVenture, it's coming up fast. Just wanted to mention a couple of significant things. The first thing is we are making a change to the Camp Scholler campgrounds. They're putting a kind of a parking lot area in right off of Poberezny Road on the southwest corner of Camp Scholler, kind of down by the dump station, and they're going to shift more camping over towards the kind of down by the Fun Fly Zone, and there'll be a new admission gate over in that area. And this will allow, hopefully, people to be close to the flight line, and also it'll get some of these cars off of the highway and off of Poberezny Road to address concerns there. So we'll see how that goes this year. Hopefully it will turn out as a great success, and we'll keep it that way forever. Also, a couple of announcements as far as what's going on, some cool aircraft that'll be here. So the Air Legends Foundation, Lockheed Constellation, the Connie, what many people think is the most beautiful airliner ever produced. That's going to be here all week, so it's always cool when there's a Connie here. And also the U-2 will be back, and believe it or not, it's the 70th anniversary of that aircraft's first flight. So started flying in 1955, if you can believe it, and it's still in operation today. So that'll be here all week. Again, an aircraft that you rarely get a chance to see up close. So very cool. So if you haven't made your plans for AirVenture, I'd encourage you to go ahead and do that. Now, turning our attention over to the chapters area, just a quick reminder for you secretaries and treasurers out there is that the IRS 990E postcard is due May 15th each year. So if you haven't done that, I'd encourage you to knock that out. It's very short. Also, if you're having events coming up, we offer the chapter blast where we will send out a promotional email to EA members within your geographic area. We ask you to submit those requests 45 days in advance. And if you already know that you're going to do like a spring and a fall pancake breakfast and you have the information on that, go ahead and put the fall one in right now. It will help us process those as quick as possible. So get them in as early as you can, but no less than 45 days out. It would really help us. On the Young Eagles front, International Young Eagles Day is coming up June 14th. I did want to warn everybody, we've had some youth protection program issues with both the background check and just the processing of that. It started up in late 2024 and then early 2025. So I would encourage you to go check your status and just make sure you're up to date. We had some issues where the reminders weren't going out. We have also had some issues where the background check isn't processing and then it's processing but not going into our system correctly. So if you have any issues with that, reach out to our Chapters and Young Eagles team and we can help sort that out. The reminders are now back up and functional, and you should get a reminder 45 days out, 30 days out, and 15 days out if you're coming up on your expiration date. This, by the way, this doesn't have anything to do with the new Young Eagles software. We're continuing to work on that and fix any of the issues that were pointed out to us. So that'll be up and running and good here for the Young Eagles season here in most of the country. Also, we did a brand new Young Eagles briefing video, which I've attached to the end of this video if you want to watch that. It's with Jimmy Graham and David Lighting, and we kind of go through and just have updated that. We had an old one. It wasn't downloadable. This one is downloadable, where you get Chapter Video Magazine, and you can play it, at your Young Eagles rallies to get both the youth and their parents kind of up to speed on what the program offers and some of the follow-on things that you can take advantage of as a Young Eagle. So nice addition and a nice update. And again, now that we have Jimmy Graham as our sole chairman, it features him as well. On the museum front, just wanted to point out that we're completely kind of doing an update of our Wright Flyer exhibit. It's fundamentally going to be the same with the same aircraft that was built by Chapters back in the day. But we are kind of improving the display around it and just kind of giving it a little bit of a facelift. And you'll be able to hear the sound of a Wright Flyer engine running and some other features like that that we've added in. So if you're making it up here for AirVenture, you'll see that new exhibit. So that's what's going on here at headquarters. I want to thank you for everything you're doing out in the field on behalf of EAA, and we'll see you next month.
Welcome to the EAA Young Eagles Flight Experience. I'm 13-year NFL veteran Jimmy Graham and the pilot of this beautiful plane behind me. I'm also the chairman of Young Eagles. Over the last 30 years, we have flown 2.5 million kids, and you're going to be the next. When you get up in the plane, just remember to smile and enjoy every second. When you're on the ground, we're going to get you in touch with all the benefits that EAA provides to carry you through your flying journey. Remember to always listen to your pilot, and I'll see you high in the sky.
Thanks for the great introduction, Jimmy. My name is David Lighting, a former Young Eagle myself. I was once in your shoes, and now I'm a volunteer pilot for the program. The Young Eagles program has been around for more than 30 years and has flown nearly 2.5 million kids, like Jimmy said. The great news is our volunteer pilots are thoroughly vetted by EAA through a background check, and they also go through a great youth protection training program. In addition, they're certified by the FAA or Transport Canada, depending on where you're going to be flying at, as are their aircraft. So don't worry, you're going to be in great hands for today's flight. In just a bit, you are going to embark on the experience of a lifetime. Once paired with your volunteer pilot, you'll likely conduct a brief pre-flight inspection of the aircraft and receive a short passenger briefing. On your way to the aircraft, be sure that you are always adhering to volunteer instructions. Never walk onto the ramp or approach an aircraft without the assistance of a qualified volunteer. Keep your head on a swivel at all times, look for moving airplanes, blinking lights, and spinning propellers. Once you arrive at the aircraft, your pilot will teach you a little bit about the aircraft that you'll be flying in and how to ensure that it's safe for flight. When it's time to board the aircraft, your pilot will show you how to climb into the cockpit and buckle your seatbelt. This is a great time to ask questions to ensure that you're comfortable for today's flight. Once you're aboard the aircraft, remember to listen to all of your volunteer pilot's instructions and soak in the entire experience from startup to shutdown. Once you get to the end of the runway and you're cleared for takeoff, the pilot will push the throttle forward, you'll start to gain airspeed, and before you know it, the aircraft will feel light and you'll be airborne. Your pilot will take you on a 15 to 20 minute flight. Throughout the flight, your pilot will point out local landmarks from above, show you the basics of aircraft control, show you how the instruments are read, and may even allow you to follow along on the controls. Once you safely touch down and taxi back to the ramp, be sure to remain seated in the aircraft until your pilot tells you that it's okay to exit. Once you've gotten out of the aircraft, be sure to stick by their side as you walk back from the aircraft. Although your flight has concluded, the aviation fun is just beginning. EAA has plenty of activities and resources to keep you engaged in aviation as you pursue a future in flight. This is all done through EAA's 5-step Young Eagles flight plan. Step 1 of the flight plan is your free Young Eagles flight, which you'll be taking today. Step 2 is enrollment in EAA as a student member. This free student membership lasts until you turn 19 years old and entitles you to all of the great EAA member benefits. Step 3 of the flight plan is enrollment into EAA Aero Educate. To tell you a little bit about Aero Educate, I have a friend Danielle here that's going to explain more.
Aero Educate is a free online resource for kids ages kindergarten through 12th grade to help you in your journey to explore the exciting world of aviation. The resources and activities inside the program delve into the basics of flight, the many career opportunities within the aviation industry, as well as the pathways on how to get to your dream career. As you work through the program, you will explore online activities, hands-on projects you can do at home, and even in-person experiences. As you complete these activities, you will accumulate points that will help you earn digital achievement badges. All of the resources and activities available can be found at aeroeducate.org.
Step 4 of the Young Eagles flight plan is activation of the Sporties Learn to Fly course. The Sporties Learn to Fly course is an all-encompassing online ground school which will help prepare you for your flight training and specifically get you ready to take the FAA written exam. Once you're ready to take that exam, EAA will even reimburse you the cost of that test if you pass. And then step 5 of the flight plan is a flight lesson voucher that you can put towards the cost of an introductory flight lesson at a flight school near you. With that, I hope that you absolutely love today's flight experience. If after the flight you feel like aviation is in your future, I highly encourage you to stay in touch with your local EAA chapter. Your chapter will have plenty of activities and programs to keep you engaged in aviation and may even offer some flight training scholarships to help fund the next steps in your flight training journey. Thanks so much for joining us today and enjoy your Young Eagles flight.